Welcome to Radiant Aging, where growing older means growing stronger, healthier, and happier every day. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to thrive well into their 80s and 90s while others face serious health issues much earlier? The truth is, longevity isn't just about genetics. In fact, only about 20% of how long you live is determined by your genes. The other 80%. That's entirely up to you. And today, we're diving into the 5 most common causes of death for people over 70, and more importantly, how you can avoid them. If you're watching this, chances are, you care about your health. Maybe you've started noticing little changes. Your energy isn't what it used to be, or you're feeling more aches and pains. Maybe you've even lost friends or family members to health conditions you never thought would touch your life. But here's the thing. Knowledge is power. The more you understand about what's putting your health at risk, the more control you have over your future. So, let's talk about it. The first major cause of death for people over 70 is heart disease. This is no surprise. Heart disease has been the #1 cause of death worldwide for decades. But here's what most people don't realize. It's not just about cholesterol or high blood pressure. Those are symptoms of a much bigger issue: chronic inflammation. When your arteries are constantly inflamed, they become stiff, narrow, and eventually blocked. That's what leads to heart attacks and strokes. So, what can you do? It's simpler than you think. The first step is what you put on your plate. The standard Western diet, full of processed foods, sugars, and unhealthy fats, is a recipe for disaster. Instead, focus on whole, nutrient-dense foods that naturally fight inflammation. Foods rich in omega-3s, like salmon, walnuts, and flax seeds, can do wonders for your heart. Leafy greens, berries, and even dark chocolate can help keep your arteries flexible and clear. And here's a tip most doctors won't tell you. Your heart loves movement. Even just 30 minutes of moderate activity a day, like walking, swimming, or dancing, can reduce your risk of heart disease by up to 50%. That's huge. Now, let's move on to something just as serious: strokes. A stroke happens when blood flow to the brain is suddenly blocked or a blood vessel bursts. And the scary part? It often strikes without warning. One moment, you're fine. The next, you're struggling to move or speak. But here's the good news. Most strokes are preventable. One of the biggest risk factors is high blood pressure, also known as the silent killer. You might feel fine, but if your blood pressure is too high, your blood vessels are under constant stress. Over time, that stress weakens them, making them more likely to rupture or clog. The solution: keep your blood pressure in check. Cut back on salt, processed foods, and excessive alcohol. Instead, focus on foods rich in potassium, like bananas, sweet potatoes, and beans, that naturally help lower blood pressure. And hydration is key. Drinking enough water keeps your blood flowing smoothly, reducing your risk of dangerous clots. Another simple but powerful tip: pay attention to your sleep. Poor sleep doesn't just leave you feeling tired. It actually increases your risk of stroke by raising inflammation, blood pressure, and stress levels. Aim for at least 7 hours of good quality sleep each night. And if you snore loudly or wake up gasping for air, get checked for sleep apnea. It's a hidden but major contributor to strokes. We've covered heart disease and strokes, 2 of the biggest threats to people over 70. But there's another silent killer that often goes unnoticed until it's too late. And that's what we'll talk about next. Now that we've uncovered the first major cause, let's move on to another silent killer that claims far too many lives after 70, heart disease. You may have heard that heart disease is the leading cause of death worldwide. But did you know that many people don't even realize they have it until it's too late? That's because the symptoms can be subtle, creeping up on you over the years. Maybe you've felt a bit more short of breath lately, or perhaps you've noticed some mild chest discomfort and brushed it off as heartburn. These little signs are easy to ignore, but they could be your body's way of telling you that your heart needs help. One of the biggest contributors to heart disease is high blood pressure. It's often called the silent killer for a reason. It does its damage quietly, without any obvious symptoms, until one day it leads to a heart attack or stroke. But here's the good news. High blood pressure is something you can control, and doing so can significantly reduce your risk. The key is to keep an eye on it. If you haven't had your blood pressure checked recently, now is the time. Many pharmacies offer free checks, or you can get an at-home monitor to keep track yourself. The goal is to keep your numbers below 120/80. If they're creeping up, simple lifestyle changes like cutting back on salt, managing stress, and getting regular exercise can make a world of difference. And speaking of exercise, let's talk about movement. You don't need to run marathons or spend hours in the gym to keep your heart healthy. In fact, just 30 minutes of brisk walking a day can do wonders. Walking helps keep your blood vessels flexible, lowers your blood pressure, and strengthens your heart. If you can't manage 30 minutes all at once, break it into smaller chunks. 10 minutes in the morning, 10 in the afternoon, and 10 in the evening. The key is consistency. Your heart loves movement, and even small efforts add up over time. But exercise alone isn't enough. What you put on your plate matters just as much, if not more. One of the worst things you can do for your heart is consume too many unhealthy fats. Fried foods, processed meats, and sugary treats can clog your arteries, making it harder for your heart to pump blood effectively. Instead, focus on heart-healthy foods like salmon, walnuts, berries, and dark leafy greens. These foods are packed with nutrients that support cardiovascular health and keep your arteries clear. If you're looking for a simple change, try swapping out butter for olive oil, or snack on a handful of almonds instead of chips. Small changes can have a big impact over time. Stress is another silent enemy of the heart. You may not think about it much, but chronic stress can raise your blood pressure, increase inflammation, and put a strain on your heart. If you're constantly feeling anxious or overwhelmed, it's time to find ways to relax. Deep breathing, meditation, or even spending time with loved ones can help lower stress levels and protect your heart. And don't underestimate the power of laughter. Watching a funny movie or sharing a joke with a friend can do wonders for your heart health. Now that we've covered heart disease, let's talk about another major cause of death that many people don't think about enough: falls. It might not sound as serious as a heart attack or stroke, but falls are one of the leading causes of injury and death in older adults. One bad fall can change everything, leading to broken bones, long hospital stays, and even a loss of independence. The good news? Falls are largely preventable. One of the best ways to prevent falls is to work on your balance and strength. As we age, we naturally lose muscle mass, which makes us more prone to falls. But you can counteract this by staying active. Simple exercises like standing on one leg while brushing your teeth or doing gentle yoga can help improve your balance and keep you steady on your feet. Strength training is also incredibly important. Building muscle in your legs and core gives you the stability you need to stay upright. Your home environment plays a big role, too. Take a look around your living space. Are there loose rugs, cluttered walkways, or poor lighting? These are all hazards that can increase your risk of falling. Make sure your home is well lit, use handrails on stairs, and consider adding grab bars in the bathroom for extra support. And don't forget about your shoes. Wearing supportive, non-slip footwear can make a huge difference in preventing accidents. Another often overlooked factor in fall prevention is vision. As we get older, our eyesight changes, making it harder to see obstacles in our path. Getting regular eye exams ensures that your prescription is up to date and that you're not at risk for tripping over something you didn't see. If you wear bifocals or progressive lenses, be extra careful when stepping off curbs or going down stairs. They can sometimes distort depth perception. Hydration is another key factor. Dehydration can cause dizziness and make you more prone to falling. Yet many older adults don't drink enough water. Aim for at least 8 glasses a day, and if you find plain water boring, try adding a slice of lemon or cucumber for flavor. And here's a tip: if you ever feel lightheaded when standing up, take it slow. Move gradually from sitting to standing to give your body time to adjust. We've covered heart disease and falls, but there are still more serious risks that need to be addressed. Let's keep going and talk about another critical health concern that too many people overlook. Now, let's talk about another major cause that's often overlooked: diabetes. Many people assume that diabetes is just about blood sugar, but the truth is, it's one of the biggest risk factors for heart disease, kidney failure, nerve damage, and even Alzheimer's. The problem is, most people don't even realize they have it until it has already done serious damage. Think about this. How often do you feel unusually thirsty? Or maybe you find yourself feeling more tired than usual, even after a full night's sleep? These could be early warning signs that your blood sugar is out of control. The tricky part is that diabetes can develop slowly over time, and by the time symptoms become obvious, your body may already be suffering. That's why early detection and prevention are key. The good news? Small lifestyle changes can make a huge difference. If you're still eating a lot of processed foods or relying on sugary snacks for energy, your body is fighting an uphill battle. Switching to whole nutrient-dense foods, like fiber-rich vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, can stabilize your blood sugar and protect your organs from long-term damage. But here's something even more powerful: movement. You don't need to run marathons or spend hours in the gym, but making sure you stay active is crucial. Even something as simple as a 20-minute walk after meals can dramatically improve how your body processes sugar. It helps lower insulin resistance, which means your body doesn't have to work as hard to keep things in balance. Another key factor: sleep. Poor sleep quality has been directly linked to an increased risk of diabetes. And yet, so many people brush it off as just part of getting older. If you're waking up feeling groggy or you're tossing and turning all night, it's time to make changes. Setting a consistent bedtime, limiting screen time before bed, and making your sleep environment as comfortable as possible can make a world of difference. And while we're on the subject of things that don't get enough attention, let's talk about something that affects millions of seniors: falls. You might not think of falling as a major cause of death, but the reality is, complications from falls lead to a shocking number of hospitalizations and fatalities every year. One misstep, one moment of lost balance, and life can change in an instant. So what can you do? First, don't ignore the small signs. If you've noticed yourself feeling a little unsteady when standing up or walking, that's your body telling you it needs attention. Strength training and balance exercises can help keep you steady on your feet, but even small adjustments in your home can reduce risk. Removing loose rugs, ensuring proper lighting in hallways, and using assistive devices when necessary can prevent a devastating fall before it happens. Another silent killer that catches too many people off guard is respiratory disease. You might not think much of that occasional cough or the shortness of breath when climbing stairs, but chronic lung conditions like COPD and pneumonia are responsible for a large number of deaths among older adults. The scary part? Many people don't even realize their lungs are struggling until the damage is already severe. If you've ever felt like you're gasping for air after doing something simple, like carrying groceries or walking to the mailbox, that's a sign your lungs might not be working at full capacity. The problem is that over time, exposure to pollution, smoking, even secondhand smoke, and untreated infections can weaken your lung function. When that happens, your body struggles to get the oxygen it needs, and suddenly, everyday activities feel exhausting. But here's the good news. Your lungs have an incredible ability to heal, if you give them the right support. One of the easiest ways to protect your lungs is simply by breathing better. Most people don't realize they're breathing too shallowly, which means they're not fully using their lung capacity. Deep breathing exercises, where you inhale deeply through your nose and slowly exhale through your mouth, can strengthen your lungs and improve oxygen flow. Another powerful habit: staying active. Exercise isn't just good for your heart, it also strengthens the muscles that help your lungs work efficiently. Even gentle activities like Tai Chi or water aerobics can boost lung function and make breathing easier over time. And don't forget about air quality. If you live in an area with high pollution, consider using an air purifier at home or spending more time in green spaces where the air is cleaner. Now we've covered heart disease, diabetes, falls, and lung disease. But there's one more major cause of death that often goes unnoticed until it's too late: infections. As we age, our immune system doesn't respond as quickly or as effectively as it once did. That means common infections, like the flu, pneumonia, or even urinary tract infections, can turn into life-threatening conditions if they aren't treated properly. One of the biggest risks: sepsis. It starts as a simple infection but quickly spreads through the bloodstream, overwhelming the body's defenses. Symptoms like fever, confusion, rapid heartbeat, or extreme fatigue can appear suddenly, and without fast treatment, sepsis can be fatal. The key is to catch infections early. If you ever feel off, whether it's persistent fatigue, unexplained pain, or changes in urination, don't ignore it. Getting medical attention quickly can save your life. Of course, prevention is always better than treatment. Supporting your immune system with a nutrient-rich diet, proper hydration, and regular hand washing can go a long way in keeping infections at bay. And when it comes to vaccines, don't hesitate. Vaccines for the flu, pneumonia, and shingles can significantly lower your risk of complications. The truth is, while these 5 causes are responsible for most deaths in people over 70, they are not inevitable. With the right knowledge and simple lifestyle changes, you can stay ahead of them and continue living a vibrant, independent life. Now that we've gone through these 5 major threats: heart disease, diabetes, falls, lung disease, and infections, it's time to talk about what you can do to protect yourself and keep living a full, active life. Because here's the thing: aging doesn't have to mean declining health. It's about making smart choices every single day that add up to a stronger, healthier body over time. One of the most powerful things you can do right now is to take control of your diet. You've probably heard the saying, "Food is medicine," and it's absolutely true. The right foods can reduce inflammation, improve circulation, strengthen your immune system, and even help repair damaged cells. A diet rich in whole foods, like leafy greens, colorful vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, gives your body the tools it needs to fight off disease. And hydration. It's more important than most people realize. Dehydration can weaken your immune system, slow down your metabolism, and even increase your risk of falls by making you feel dizzy or unsteady. Make it a habit to drink enough water throughout the day. Your body will thank you for it. Exercise is another key to longevity. It doesn't have to be intense or complicated. Just moving your body regularly, whether it's walking, stretching, swimming, or even gardening, keeps your muscles strong, your joints flexible, and your heart pumping efficiently. Plus, exercise improves your mood and keeps your mind sharp. It's truly one of the best anti-aging secrets out there. But what about stress? Believe it or not, stress plays a huge role in nearly every major health condition. Chronic stress raises blood pressure, weakens the immune system, and makes it harder for the body to fight off infections. Finding ways to relax, whether it's deep breathing, meditation, listening to music, or spending time with loved ones, can make a massive difference in your overall health. And don't forget about sleep. It's not just about feeling rested. Quality sleep is when your body repairs itself, strengthens memory, and balances hormones. If you're struggling with sleep, try creating a relaxing bedtime routine, avoiding screens before bed, and keeping your bedroom cool and dark. Lastly, stay connected. Isolation and loneliness can be just as harmful to your health as smoking or obesity. Engaging with friends, family, or even joining a community group can boost your mental well-being and add years to your life. The bottom line: you have more control over your health than you might think. By making small, consistent changes, eating well, moving more, reducing stress, staying hydrated, and staying socially engaged, you can dramatically lower your risk of these 5 deadly conditions and enjoy a vibrant, fulfilling life well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. So, if this video helped you, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more health tips, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Your health is in your hands. Make every day count.